Did the stream drop altogether?
I think so.
Oh, yeah, I guess it did.
Yep.
That's why I tried to cut it. You might have to you'll have to do this as 2 videos.
That's fine.
Edit them together and then put it on.
Oh my goodness. Well, there's no shortage of technical issues today.
Apparently not. God damn.
Stop doing what you're doing. Thank you. Oh my god. Well, you know what? We're back. We're back.
Yes, we are back.
Oh my god. So you have the same mic as Grif? Yeah, I'm using a snowball, blue snowball. I love this thing.
It is pretty awesome.
We're big fans of snowball.
Yes.
I'm not using one. I'm just using my headset because I'm a cheap bastard.
One day, Baka, we'll get you a snowball as well with the lovely little pop screen there.
Yes.
Yeah, big fan of these.
But we were talking about GTA.
And how it was never No Pants' fault.
Yes, it was never No Pants' fault. I really like GTA. The heists are pretty fun. We'll probably work on another one next weekend or soon. But
how many more heists do you have? Aren't there only 4 total?
5.
5? Oh.
5. We got the next one, and I think the last one's the Pacific Coast job. The super bank robbing one. We got to get on the bikes and drive into the truck and.
Oh yes, I do remember that.
As soon as you come out of the damn bank, there's like 65,000 cops out in front, and you're like,
that took a minute.
You just like, as soon as you get out, you fucking throw a bunch of grenades and run to the left real quick. Like, yeah.
Use rocket launchers, throw some sticky bombs,
everything.
A couple of proximity mines when you're running down the alleyway as well, so that way when they follow you, they go boom!
Yay!
Explosions all over the place.
That sounds like the best plan.
Yes. All right, Ivy's little running over vault part. We had, it was getting on the aircraft carrier, and we have to steal the jets and fight off the jets and deliver the plane and whatnot. Ivy gets in her jet, and Paul runs in front of her, and Ivy's just like, boom. Oh, why'd you run in front of me?
Nice. Those jets are hard to drive, though. To be fair, I had a lot of trouble with that one, too.
Yeah, Vol did, too.
I kept driving it off.
I can't turn. Why am I driving backwards?
Just the bumper buttons.
I had trouble with that, too, Vol. Don't worry. The first time I was like, why doesn't it turn? I don't understand. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay, though.
I drove mine off into the ocean twice, I think, too, because you're flying it off the aircraft carrier. Yep. Yeah.
That's okay. Me and No Pants wrecked all those damn guys who came in after me. I took like 3 shots, though. That jet's something else. Tell you what.
The big jet, because you've got the big jet that you're trying to get, and then you have smaller jets. Okay, you did.
Me. I drove. I flew most. Yeah, I didn't even know they were out of bounds. I was like, I'm coming up on the fucking drop off spot, and it's like failure out of bounds.
Actually, I think I did that too. I think I veered off too far, because the
one time that we actually kept her from either like not crashing or not being blown to bits, she flew out of bounds.
I was flying in the right direction though, just not in the path they wanted. I guess I don't know. Oh my god.
Oh.
Well, that's what we did this week. Do you guys want to talk about some of the stuff that was in the news this week?
Oh boy.
Everybody's like, no news. Oh my god, who cares?
I already told you my opinion on the Kotaku thing, and I feel like
I know, but you have to tell everybody else your opinion because nobody heard it but me.
All right, that's fine. Then, all right, the story with the Kotaku thing is, let me see if I can pull this article up real quick.
Basically, Kotaku got blacklisted by a couple of companies, and they feel greatly offended by the fact that they were blacklisted because journalism. There, does that sum it up for you?
I guess. Well, I want to make sure that we're thorough so that we know. All right. Bethesda and Ubisoft have blacklisted. They have made it their mission to keep Kotaku out of their business.
Right. And as far as PR goes.
Yes, PR. They do not work with Kotaku at all. They don't talk at any branch, either UK or Australia. They don't deal with anything that has to do with Kotaku. They don't give pre-releases of the game to their people so that they can review it early or anything. They just leave them in the dark. And apparently this has been going for a little while. Apparently it stems from when they released... Ubisoft forgave the first one that they did. Because I know that they announced one of the expansion or one of the Assassin's Creed. They leaked it early. They wrote an article about it, and Ubisoft was like, "All right, fine, whatever."
That must have been a little while back, because the one that they did not forgive was for Unity, which at the time that they leaked it was still codenamed Victory.
Yeah, they did one beforehand, and
Okay.
it was like, "All right, fine, we'll kind of forgive you. We'll warm back up. Let
Please don't do that again, basically.
Yeah, so they started warming back up, but they did it again, and Ubisoft was like, "All right, fine, we don't want anything to do with it. We're just going to leave it the way it is."
Victory for Ubisoft, essentially. They were like, "Oh, Ubisoft's working on a new Assassin's Creed game. It's going to be called Victory," and, you know, blah, 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 blah. But they announced it, like, 6 months before Ubisoft had planned to announce it, and it wasn't going to be called Victory Forever. That was a working title name. But they got their hands on leaked information and decided to just set fire to any bridge they might have left with Ubisoft by posting about it, because it was their journalistic duty to make sure that news that people needed got out there. And it's like, no, we don't need this news. We need to know when it's going to come out, and we need actual details about it. But all you're doing is telling me some rumors that you heard and some information that Ubisoft's not going to confirm because they're not ready, and it's not your business to do that. Thank you.
I'm fine with it. Like, it is their prerogative to make a decision like that. If they find information about certain games, it's like anything else in the world. If it's like the whole Snowden case, he leaked a bunch of fucking government information, and now look at him, he's hiding and still hiding away.
Yeah, but that stuff was actually news.
I know.
That was letting us know
news.
that the government is listening in on everything that we say.
I know,
that is not
that's
optional entertainment shit.
But there isn't. It is big. It's Assassin's Creed stuff, and people want to know.
Yeah, but you're not going to be injured or spied upon if you don't know.
That's true, but it's an entertainment industry, not.
But it's not news. Like, that's where I have the issue with it, is they try to get on their high horse, and Kotaku does it a lot. They are very self-righteous about everything that they do. And they're like, we had journalistic integrity to report this news that readers needed in their hands. No, we didn't need it. You wanted to get page views, so you burnt a bridge, and now you're crying about the fact that you burnt your own damn bridge. Because really what they are doing is they're trying to be like, we're the victims here, we were just reporting legitimate news, and now we can't get early access copies of games from these companies that we screwed over because we announced games for them that they weren't ready to announce yet.
Fine. Like I said,
like,
that's fine.
I don't care for it because they're playing the victim card, and they shouldn't be.
That's fine, and I've asked you this before. Do you feel like there's anything else that the company should do to burn them back? Because I feel like they are.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm glad that they've completely cut off. And I actually wanted to touch upon that because in that original article that Kotaku wrote about it, they had mentioned that, and I can't remember if it was Ubisoft or Bethesda, but one of the companies had sent an advanced copy to
Bethesda.
A freelancer. Yeah, okay, was it Bethesda? Had sent a copy to a freelancer that they buy articles from occasionally. And they didn't mention him by name in the article. They just said, we ended up being able to get our hands on an early access preview because we have a freelance artist or writer who also writes for the New York Times. So basically kind of singled him out and threw him under the bus anyway, because you told him what two news outlets that he wrote for, so they could kind of figure it out from there. But now he's being hurt too, because it was Bungie, wasn't it?
No. That's a whole. No. That's a whole different issue that they're running, that Kotaku is having against Bungie.
Oh, great!
Like
issues. Yeah.
Well, it seems like Kotaku is definitely not the most reputable.
No.
Entertainment median, but they took a chance. I mean, they're a journalist. They write news and whatnot, and they took a chance and they fucked up. And that's why most other companies aren't going to be like, maybe we should just walk across this bridge and maybe it won't burn. It's like, no. If you want to report on things that are unsubstantiated, then you have a strong chance of burning that bridge forever.
Right.
And Kotaku did it, and they're like, well, now we can't do anything and we're sad about it. Man, you made your fucking bed. Sleep in it. I mean, Ubisoft even gave them another chance, and that's fine. Like, cool to them. And they did it again, and it's like, all right, fine. We're just not going to do anything with you. Like, I'm sorry. And same thing with Bethesda, except Bethesda has probably very low tolerance for shit like that, and seeing as it's been done before.
Considering that Bethesda, with them, it wasn't an annual game that got leaked. with Assassin's Creed, okay, annual franchise, we know there's going to be a new one. You just happened to tell everybody what it was going to be before they were ready. With Bethesda, it's you don't understand how long we've been working on this game and have managed to keep it quiet. We are going to wait. It was 6 months out before they were going to announce, and Kotaku's like, guess what, guys? Fallout 4 is on the way. Also, I have a problem with the fact that they do leaks like that and they're so anti-hype train. Kotaku is very like, oh my god, don't be on the hype train. Always know the facts. But
Well-
you started the goddamn hype train.
Well, they're getting what they reaped what they sowed, or sowed what they reap. I don't know the proper.
They're now reaping what they sowed.
Yes, I mean, I can't ask for any more punishment for them. They
Yeah, I
lost
know,
two of
and-
the biggest publishers there is out there. So
Well, and I kind of wonder how it's going to work from that angle. Like with the way that Kotaku's trying to handle it and make themselves into the victims, I can't help but wonder if maybe other companies will start distancing themselves. Like they may not cut them off completely, but I can't help but wonder if they're going to distance them and maybe start giving them a cold shoulder in general.
they will be very weary, I'm sure of it. And if they ever, and I don't know if Kotaku's going to learn their lesson, but if they ever kind of come out and be like, oh, look at what we found out, and then it burns another bridge, then the companies will start cold shouldering them. But,
Yes.
I mean, I have to give it to them. Sometimes the deep kind of articles, like the Destiny one that we talked about, that kind of information should be known to players. Like, it was the article about Destiny's original story and how the higher-ups didn't like it at all, and they basically had to go and rewrite every single aspect of the Destiny story. Now,
Right.
from what we knew about the original Destiny story was, in my opinion, very, very, very good. Like, that
Yeah,
kind
it could have been pretty great.
yeah, like the game theory and whatnot, what the original story was, it could have been really fantastic. But, you know, money talks. And if the higher ups are like, we don't like it, change it. But this is a really good I don't care who's fucking writing, signing your
Who's
paycheck.
writing your checks? Yeah.
Exactly. And then it's just like, fine, I guess we'll fucking cut off a bunch
But
of
I mean,
shit.
I feel like with that, that's not leaked information. That's not you telling somebody something.
But
One, that
was
they
a
didn't
hit-
already know, and two, I mean, that's something that needs explaining.
Yes.
Why did this game that purportedly was going to be, the most amazing story we've ever had, and Bungie has been known for their storytelling, why did it suck so badly? But something that's a bit on a different page, I feel, than this game is unannounced. I'm going to announce it for you. Fuck
yeah,
off.
but that's kind of information that you don't want
That's
the
like
public
finding
to kind
out
of
that
get
your
out.
sister's pregnant and then telling your parents for her.
Yeah, exactly. But that's
That actually
what
is
you're-
kind of a
that's
good.
really good
business.
analogy, but you should let your sister tell the parents instead. You should have let Bungie. But what if Bungie would have never told, or
Yeah, but
if
that's-
your sister would have
I'm
gone?
not
That's
talking
their
about the
business,
Bungie
though.
thing. The Bungie thing, that's fine. Like I said, there needed to be an explanation for why that was awful.
Mhm.
That's an after-the-fact thing. You are announcing things that cannot be known. That's like telling your mom that your sister got a B on a report card before your sister gets to bring it in. I mean, it's still something that you shouldn't tell, but it's kind of out there. Your sister's been struggling. Whatever.
Right.
B is not struggling. Fine, D. Your sister got a
B
D.
is not
There
struggling.
you go. B is struggling for me, all right? I'm weird. But
I just think some articles that are in the dark need to be put to the light, but
I
some
agree.
articles that are in a different room, the door doesn't need to be opened yet.
right. Exactly.
Basically, game announcements need to be done by the companies that are making the game.
Well, and
Yeah.
Because
Kotaku's
when
on their high horse about the fact that it's unrealistic for a company, and this kind of relates to what you were saying, Baka, and I'll let you finish, but they said that it's unrealistic for publishers to think that they have any right to keep the game a secret for as long as they want. That if people know about it, then everybody needs to know about it.
And that's fine. They have the right to report on it, and if they burn that bridge, that's their own fault, which they did. So if
Okay,
you
I
want
think
to
that you were
report on
trying to
it,
disagree. What were you gonna say?
Okay, basically, I mean, if they want to report on it, kind of like what Chicken said, okay, fine, but they need to be prepared that they're going to burn the bridge. But honestly, I think it should really be from the game developers to go through and be able to announce their games. One, because just because, like, say, Kotaku went through and announced Fallout, it could still be a while before they were even ready to release the game. They could have been working on major bugs. They could have been working more on the story, more on the gameplay. And because now that it's out there, well, guess what? Now they're going to be bugged to shit, kind of like, Half-Life 3, because,
Never see that. What are you talking about?
yeah, where everyone's going to be constantly going, well, where's the game? Where's the game?
See,
And
that's
it's
what
going
I
to be this
said.
constant hype behind it. And whenever it does ever finally come out, everyone's going to be like, oh, well, this is not what I've been waiting 15 fucking years for.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that was one of the points that I made, is I feel like it's at the publisher's discretion as to when to announce, because you're trying to manage within your, as the publisher, you're trying to manage customer expectation. And you don't want to be like, hey guys, we're going to make this game. It'll be out eventually, especially if it's a game like Fallout 4 that's been kind of long awaited. You kind of always knew in the back of your mind that it was coming, but you didn't know,
When or anything like that.
Yeah, you hadn't heard anything about it. But for them to be like, hey guys, guess what? Then all of a sudden that's all everybody wants to talk about is Bethesda, when are we going to get it? Bethesda, can we see it? Bethesda, let me see Fallout 4. I need to know. Well, no, you don't, because we're still working on it. And what if Bethesda wasn't ready? Like I said, they announced it 6 months beforehand. But what if it was something that Bethesda wasn't comfortable in that time window to announce at E3, and they had changed their mind completely and decided, you know what, we're just not going to do that this year. We're not ready. Everybody's already talking about it. I mean, how shitty do you look? Or who looks shitty in that scenario? Kotaku or Bethesda?
Bethesda, because all of the information kind of gets pushed over to Bethesda. They're like, hey, look it. They just toss the fucking information out to the crowd, and then the mob mentality picks it up.
And speaking from working in retail, generally as soon as the game is announced, whether it's through like online, like working at GameStop, the Game Informer magazine, as soon as people see it, they're like, "Oh my god, that's got to be coming out like now, or it's already got to be out, right?" No, they're just announcing it, but people. The general public expect it to basically, as soon as it's already announced, to basically be out like really freaking quickly at that point, regardless of how far along in development they actually are.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, Kotaku did it to themselves. That's all we can say at this point. And yes, we do talk to you. Call me James.
Yeah, that's Elite Chicken is the one that's talking in your chat, and then I'm Grif Slynum. And then Baka is not typing because reasons.
Yep.
But yeah,
sorry, I was kind of. I didn't have chat popped out.
That's cool. But I think since we did kind of touch on Destiny, there was something else that I kind of wanted to discuss with you guys to try to theorize about a bit. Destiny wants to, or is introducing a Refer a Friend program, which we've all been familiar with from other companies doing it. WoW does it with Recruiter Friend. You get a mount and everything like that. But how is it going to work on console? Basically, Destiny wants to give you, or Bungie will give you, a new 2-player dance that you can do with the person that you recruit, a high five emote, a speeder, and a custom shader that you can only get through the Recruiter Friend program. And I think there was 1 or 2 other things, but
it depends.
I'm just not sure how they
rules.
can implement that.
Depends on the rules. Because there are 2 different kinds of things in WoW: Recruit a Friend, Revive a Friend.
Revive a Friend. There you go.
If your account has been down for, I'm the chicken guy. If your account is down for, I think it's 24 months, 12 months or so, then you can revive him, and you get bonuses and teleporting to each other and all this cool shit. But a Recruit a Friend is you have to have a somebody who has never had an account. So then you get the mount, you get to teleport to each other, you get huge XP bonuses and all of that stuff. Now, it is so easy to make a new account for WoW. All you do, go to their website, sign up, and you just log on in. And that's about all you can do for that. For Xbox, you have to have a different copy of the game.
Are you saying for sure, or are you saying you're theorizing?
I'm theorizing right now. Theorizing. Okay. But you have to have. I'm gonna assume if it's actually Refer a Friend and not along with bringing people who quit back. If they do that, then that's smart.
Can you count towards that? Because how many people at this point who have consoles have not in any facet picked up Destiny, and would they be interested at this point? I mean, you're into year 2. Yeah, Baka has never played it. You're into.
Well, I played the beta.
Destiny. Yeah. But who are you gonna recruit is what I'm looking at here. If it's not bringing back somebody beforehand, like somebody who's already played, how are you gonna recruit new people? Like, who's gonna play?
Which is why I think if they were smart they will do the revive a friend too. Like they'll include people who quit to be able to bring them back, and then you can get the recruit a friend kind of thing. Because if not, they've done so much hype in this damn game. They've sold so many copies of this damn game. There aren't very many people out there to recruit anymore.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I was kind of thinking. Is I realized that Bungie's trying to work it so that they can have a number boost maybe. But who do you want to target that to? Anybody who wants to play the game has already played it, and maybe it is like gonna be like what you say, where it can be like a revive a friend thing, where you haven't logged on for 6 months, say, and if you start playing again, but I mean, you'd think at that point that you'd have to have some sort of minimum, like you'd have to play for a minimum of this amount of time before you got the perks for it, maybe. So I don't really know.
like,
I don't really know how it's
we
gonna
need
work.
more information on how it'll work before.
Well, they announced all the perks, so you'd think that they kind of have it lined up as to how it's gonna work.
Yeah, but most people look at the perks are like, oh, cool perks. But people like us are like, all right, fine, show me the details. Show me the rules of recruitment. Because that's the way I look at things like that. It's like, all right, fine, I don't care about the rewards and whatnot. I need to know what the rules are and how difficult it is to be able to handle something like this. Because it's like, oh, you have to have somebody who has an Xbox Live Gold membership and a different Xbox and a new game, or Destiny the Taken King. So there are many different rules that they could put. So
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that works and see how many numbers they boost from that. Like, I'd like to know the before and after. It's like, here's the recruit a friend. Here's how many people we had before that, and here's how many people after.
You know them. They won't show numbers.
Yeah, I know, but it would be nice to see whether or not it worked out for them. Because I just don't know that it will.
Yeah. Poor Oak.
Yeah,
Oak needs a new router.
Yeah, you gotta get a new router, man. That sucks. Ours is brand new, and we were still having some issues.
Yeah, but our issues are. I want to say our issues are. Our issues are not on our end. Our issues are on Twitch and Comcast's end. Everything I've diagnosed in 3,000 different ways. It's not us. So.
But if you call Comcast, it's, well, have you tried all this? Yes.
Yeah, I know. I hate having to go through that whole shit. Oh, did you try and reset your router? If I could give Kappa looks, I would give Kappa looks through the phone. I swear.
Yeah, generally, if I ever have to call for tech support, like around here, for them to like come out here to work on the lines or whatever, I basically, as soon as I get on the line, it's like, all right, I've done this. This is all your standard procedure stuff. Get someone out here.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. So maybe next week or soon-ish, we could have Oak back on the podcast. The chicken just called me a cutie.
No, call me
dying.
James said that you were too. I gotta agree with him. He's got pretty good taste.
Oh, look at you being smooth.
Yeah, my ring. She's got one too. But I could go in there and you guys could see me on her side. But I don't
Get
wanna
out.
do that.
No.
She'll yell at me or
My
slap
box
me.
of solitude. You can't get in here.
No, I can't. All right, next subject that we want to.
You're like, I'm done with that. Go.
Enough flattery.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I know we're getting close to the end of the show, but let's touch on this because I am a little sad. Sort of. Deus Ex got postponed. It was supposed to be out February 23rd. It is now looking like August 23rd for next year. I'm a little sad, but I'm also completely okay with them delaying the game because they're still fixing things. I don't want to get another Unity where it's like, here's this broken piece of garbage. We'll fix it as we go. Thanks.
They should have done the now I'm gonna start calling it the Bethesda thing. They should have just held out on it, announcing it until they were for sure. Like I hate when games get pushed back after they get announced. They build up the hype, push it back.
Yeah.
Yep.
They get to build up the hype, push it back. God damn it! Just wait, man. If you think the game is done, then announce it. Or if you know the game is done, announce it, play test it, get it all
Finish
set and ready.
polishing it up.
Exactly, and then release it right there. And I'm sure that's what Bethesda was doing. They're like, all right, our game is done.
That's what they generally do for the most part. I mean, if you go back and look at like majority of their games, like when they go through and announce them, they're usually out not too far after.
Yeah, I'm down for that. If your game is done, announce it, polish it, make sure the bugs are whatnot. Minimal, I'm fine with minimal bugs. Fallout's had a couple, but nothing too game breaking. But polish it out and then release it. Don't announce it when you're like
I feel like they
80%
thought that
done.
it was going to be okay, but it could be one of those things where it's like, we fixed this one issue, but for some reason it broke 3 other things. And so maybe they're just having kind of a ladder issue with that, where once they fix and patch a couple of things, something else springs up and they're like, oh shit, let's
They
just
put a
push it
1 and
back
a
because this is
0.
going to be, I mean, I'd rather them do that and just be like, sorry, legitimately, we thought this was going to be ready, but it really is not to our standards, than to be like, it's probably going to be okay. Maybe this is just going to happen to a few people. Here you go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it being pushed back because, quality over time. So if
I'm
you're-
just sad that it's going to be longer before I can see Jensen again.
Yeah,
Damn it.
yeah.
I need more Adam Jensen in my life. And I want him to be in working order when I see him again. So I guess fine. August. Fine. I'm a little sad, but that's okay. I was sad because I was like, oh man, that means nothing's coming out until spring for me. Because I thought, for some reason, I had it in my head that Just Cause 3 was spring. And so I was like, no, at least I'll have plenty of time to play Fallout, I guess. But no! And then I realized this week that Just Cause's release date is December 1st and not sometime in spring. So, yay! One disappointment, and then I make up for it by being an idiot and remembering the proper release date finally, and I'm excited again.
So then you can go and grapple people with like 2 different ones and slingshot them through the air.
I watched somebody's like little bit of gameplay where they basically grappled a deer, I think it was a deer, to the ground, like had it on 2 separate grapples, put a bunch of sticky bombs on it, released the grapples, and launched it into a base and blew it up. The amount of things that I'm gonna do in this game. Right, Baka? That sounds great, doesn't it?
I want to find a hipster and do that too.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
I don't think the game is set in like Seattle, sorry.
Oh, well, there's got to be hipsters out there somewhere. They were like, I grew tired of the city and I flew out here because it's all natural.
All natural. Oh, natural. Oh.
Oh my god. Baka just offended at least like 4 people that listen to us, I guess. Maybe.
Sorry, guys.
Don't be offended.
Well,
We still love you.
apparently I guess we were hip enough for them, so.
We still love you and your organic beard wax, don't worry.
God.
Yeah, I just let mine grow all over the place. That's as natural as you can get.
There you go. Was there anything that I do know one thing that Chicken wanted to talk about that we can get to real quick.
Well, we
The
still got
Star
a good
Wars
10
thing.
minutes.
The Star Wars thing.
Oh, yeah, the Battlefront thing.
I'm gonna let you talk about that because you read more about it than I haven't read anything about it. I've just listened to you complain. So go ahead.
All right, you listen to me complain. Well, I have every right to complain.
You
about
do. I
this.
mean, I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
All right, Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront came out. $60 game, right?
Yep.
Correct. All right. Now, in the past, I don't know. Maybe I think the most expensive season pass I've seen is like $40.
It's usually $50 and it's like Call of Duty.
Okay. Well, then here we go. I guess the only multiplayer games have huge season passes. $50 for the season pass for Star Wars Battlefront. Now,
Right.
All right, what you get in it, you get 20 new pieces of weapons, vehicles, whatever.
So is that like 20 miscellaneous new items, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Weapons, tech, and whatnot. 4 more heroes and villains for you to fight as or against.
Okay.
16 additional multiplayer maps. Pretty good. You get 16 maps. Okay. 4 exciting new game modes. I don't know why they have to add that adjective in there. What? Okay,
In case,
exciting.
because we were gonna release the boring one
Because,
next.
yeah, and I'm willing to bet some of those game modes are going to end up being like ones they took out of Battlefront 2. I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, and
Sorry.
then this is where it kills me right here. Like, I was like, all right, fine, you're going to sell the DLC for $50. That's not where they're stopping. You get 2-week early access to each expansion pack, which means you're still going to have to buy the expansion packs afterwards.
So
Like, you get all your DLC.
So it'd be like Destiny though, because
Yeah.
really that's what it was. It was you get the season pass. There was the House of Wolves and the
And then you
Crota
have to pay
stuff,
for
and
the
then-
expansions. It's like, good
Oh.
lord. Oh, also you get a shoot first emote, whatever it is, whatever that is.
Okay.
But yeah, so you pay for the DLC $50, and then you're going to be paying another like $50 for the expansion pack, and then another $50 for the expansion pack after that. These are theoretical numbers here, but it's EA, so
Sounds about right.
yeah. I mean, it's like
It sounds like an infomercial. It's like, for the low price of $59.99, we'll give you the base game, but we don't stop there. We've got the season pass for $50, and you get all of this amazing stuff. But we don't stop there. There's more, and it just keeps going and going.
Give us like 50 more
$2,000.
payments of $59.99, and you can get the rest of your game.
the worst part about it, and this is so unfortunate because normally I get all mad at things like this, but when I think about who's doing it, it's like, oh, it's just what they
EA.
do. It's like, I wish I didn't feel that way, but it's like, oh, it's just what they do. I mean,
This is why when it got announced that EA was going to be doing the Star Wars, I was like, yep, nope, this is going to fucking suck.
Well, I
This
like
is
that EA's little, subtag used to be EA, it's in the game, but now they don't use that anymore because EA, it's not in the game. It's in the microtransactions, season passes, and other auxiliary
Oh,
stuff.
no. It's probably still in the game, in the coding somewhere, but you got to pay to unlock the rest of the game.
It's in the
my
game
goodness.
behind a paywall. That should be the subtag. You get 2 subs. EA, it's in the game behind the paywall.
Behind the paywall.
Works.
Oh.
EA's also you remember they hired on Jade Ramone after she left Ubisoft. She was one of the ones that had headed the Assassin's Creed team for a long time. Now Jade is going to be bringing Assassin's Creed sort of to Ubisoft or to EA. She's going to be spearheading a project to make an open world action game that is Assassin's Creed-esque.
So if they do something like that, and like say you have to go and assassinate someone, in order to actually like to finish off and assassinate them and kill them, do you have to give them $5?
Yes.
It's like,
Wait,
I need
$5?
to assassinate this guy in order to like continue on my game. Wait, before you can stab him, you have to give us $5.
No, you have to give us 5 in-game currency, which you can only buy in a pack of like 47 because it's got to be an odd number, so you can't even it out ever. But you have to pay for that with real money. That's how that's gonna go down.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Assassin's Creed and Tomb Raider, I don't understand microtransactions in those games. It's
We've
like,
already talked about the Tomb Raider thing. That's
I
fine.
know, but Assassin's Creed, you pay real money
You
to
pay
buy
money
gear.
so you can unlock the gear, which is stupid. They shouldn't have. They should never have added that. That was dumb. You can unlock it on your own. It just takes a really long time. Thanks, Ubi.
But they do that so that they can cater to people who want to play. It's so unfortunate.
But here's money aside, all that shit aside. Here's the deal. We have Assassin's Creed every year, right?
Right.
What's Jade gonna give us that's Assassin's Creed-esque but still different enough that's gonna make us want to play a game that's already oversaturated in the market?
Stop oversaturating your market.
You can't, because Ubisoft's cornered the market and they're gonna give you a new Assassin's Creed every year, no matter what.
I know, but if they instead broke up their Assassin's Creed series into, Far Cry 1 year, something else this year, and then 3 years later you get another Assassin's Creed, cool. And then you get another Far Cry 3 years after the last one, and it's like, all right, cool.
That's fine, but let's not make this about Ubi. Let's make this about EA. How is she going to make a successful game in a market that's already kind of saturated with what she wants to do? It's like, EA's never done.
It's going to have very unique gameplay mechanics and things like that, and it's going to have a good story and a character with actual good voice acting instead of like phoned in, in order to actually pull you into it, basically. But it's gonna. In order to get people's attention, it's definitely going to have something like gameplay mechanic wise that's going to make people go, "Oh wow, that's badass."
Yeah.
I mean, it's still possible. If you get somebody who's really creative and can come up with a fantastic idea for a game, and they know how to make it, Shadow Mordor, Sunset Overdrive, like, holy shit, the people who were thinking about and to be fair though, Shadow Mordor took like 3 different kinds of games and stuck them together and added a new mechanic. But Sunset Overdrive, some people don't like it, but I found the mechanics super unique, super fun. Like it's a bouncy version of Assassin's Creed. So
without the assassinating, more guns.
Exactly. It's really fun. It's a really fun game. You just bounce around and kill a bunch of shit. It's awesome. I really like it.
But I think that would be great if you could do something unique like that. It's just
people have to be willing to take, and this is the problem.
Take a chance, but people want familiarity. I mean, Adam brought up, I just totally butchered that name. I'm so sorry, Adam. But brought up the fact that Call of Duty sells every year because people are going to buy it. People like, as much as they hate to say it, they like that familiarity. They like that fact that they know that next year they're going to get a brand spanking new coat of paint on the same shit they've been playing forever because it's familiar, and they're good at it because they've been playing the same game in a different package forever.
But that just I ain't gonna start calling people out, but that just shows the difference between culture gamer and real gamers. Culture gamers just every year will pick up the same game and play the new version. Culture us, we like uniqueness.
I like variety.
Show me what you got. Show me what you've been working on. Fallout 4 took 7. They worked on that game for 7 years. Yeah, it's a brand, but 7 years, and they gave me this, and I am in love. So
I mean, you can make a brand and still have it. I mean, Elder Scrolls, that series has been going on forever, but they don't release a new one every year. Like every time they do a new Elder Scrolls game, they're tweaking and they're changing mechanics in it. Like if you go back and play like Morrowind and compare it to like Skyrim, the mechanics as far as combat and everything else totally different.
Well,
Yep.
Square's doing that. Square Enix is doing that with Final Fantasy as well. They're changing theirs, and they give you nice, decent gaps between launches. And if there is going to be another Final Fantasy game in the year that's going to be a follow-up, it's going to be a completely different game, and possibly for a different like platform altogether. You've got your console games, and they've got the handhelds that they do as well, and things like that. So you've got that string of variety in between it. So I think maybe is what we need, to have some differences.
yes, absolutely. But it just boils down to Bethesda as a developer makes such good games, that their profit from that holds them over until they can release another game. They don't have to release one every year to pad their bank accounts so that they could be millionaire, like the top 1% of the company could be millionaires, and then release another one so that they can fill up their bank accounts because they need $35 million houses. They just, all right, the company's fine.
It's a fucking expensive house, man.
Yeah, at this point, with as many Assassin's Creed games that comes out and DLC and shit like that, I'm sure. But that's my point. It's like Bethesda can somehow take 7 years, make a fantastic fucking game, be fine as a company, make another fantastic fucking game 4 years down the road, and not have to resell
The same name.
Exactly. I mean, they'll give us some DLC, and then they let the community take over in the mods, and the game holds itself up because it's so fantastic.
Right.
So, I mean, that's what you just got to do eventually. You just got to make a good game that can hold itself up, and there you go.
Yep.
But companies are just worried about kicking out the next one, making the profit. Kicking out the next one, letting the sheeple buy it and making a profit.
Sheeple. Oh my god. Now you're offending people.
Yeah.
Sorry, but
Well, I mean, this is why, like, on certain games, like Dragon Age, I kind of, I was waiting until they did, like, the package with all the DLC and things like that, just
Game
because
of the Year
it's like,
editions.
yeah, like, on some of them, I do kind of wait for that now, just because it's like, you know what, I know they're going to be out, and it'll be less money in the long run if I wait and buy them then, and then I'll have all the DLC, and I get to play with all the other neat stuff. Granted, there are some games that I'm like, no, don't want to wait for that. Fallout being an example of that. I didn't wait for any of that for Skyrim.
There are certain games that I feel like, and it's going to vary
just too
person to
hype.
person. Well, it's not necessarily hype. It's a company that you trust. And so you're okay with going ahead and purchasing the game and then possibly purchasing the DLC as you go or doing a season pass instead of being like, I'll wait for the game of the year. I mean, at this point, I used to kind of be like that with Assassin's Creed. I even went out and bought Unity on day one because I had faith that they were not going to be awful, and they were, and they lied to me. But there's companies that you feel enough trust with that you like their brand enough to say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this now. Other ones, you're like, yeah, I can wait because all of that stuff will be packaged. Why bother?
Yeah, I mean, Bethesda is a company that I feel like I can put... I'm okay with giving them money because I feel like when I give them money, I get what I paid for in return. Like, I'm not paying for Fallout 3's
Broken
DLC. I'm paying for Fallout 4, and that was a fantastic $60 spent, in my opinion. And I'm going to be okay with buying the DLC when it comes out, and I'll be playing with mods, too. That game's gonna have me 200, 300, 400 hours in it. So, money well spent. If you give me a good game that I feel like I get the money worth spending, I'll give you more money.
Yeah.
Like, I will be okay with throwing money at you because.
But then
Skaven
you've
Tide
got
was
people that
another
are
one
going
that
to
was
throw the
really
money
well worth
at
it.
other games regardless. So it.
You mean Vermintide?
Yep, I don't. Well, they're Skaven, but I'm used to calling them Skaven.
Yes. But $30 for that game, totally worth it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm sure we could talk about games that or companies that we trust and games that we have fallen in love with for hours and hours and hours. But we're pretty well at our hour mark, so I'm gonna go ahead and make us wrap it up.
Yeah, we got a lot of dropped frames. It's a bad episode, lots of fuzziness.
I wouldn't say it's a bad episode.
Well, in
necessarily. It's
quality,
just technically has been very difficult for us today.
Yes, we've had a lot of dropped frames and whatnot. But I don't know how to wrap up the show. Oak's not here.
That's fine. Everybody make sure that you check us out on Twitter. We're at InfiniteResPC. There, we've got our website up and running, so check us out on the forums. Because, hey, who doesn't want to talk to all of us on a regular basis in a text format? Do it, guys. InfiniteResPC.com, which, just somebody type that into chat. Do the internet, or the internet one. Oh my god. Seriously?
Internet one.
Check us out on YouTube. I'm putting up Far Cry 4 right now. I'm trying to do at least 2 of those a week with the Far Cry 4 stuff. So they're shorter. Check them out. Don't forget to check out everything that we've got on YouTube, because craziness. You can watch Baka blow himself up because of reasons.
Because I was greedy and I wanted to dig up a grave, so I killed meat, chicken, a sheep, and a cow.
I think that's my favorite clip that we have on YouTube. Like, in general, no matter, like, all of the stuff that I've done, all the stuff that we've clipped from streams and whatnot, I think that one is my favorite. Because of the faces after, because both of you are on the thing. Yeah, it's my favorite.
Yep.
So,
Because, I wanted to do what I wanted, and yep.
Yep. We're glad that everybody came and hung out. We're here every week, every Sunday. We're here at 3 p.m. Eastern for the podcast. We're usually on for an hour, so Oak will be on later tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern for his stream. He'll probably still be playing Mad Max because
he loves his grinding.
That game apparently lasts for 24 billion years, so get ready for that. And then Chicken's here all week, Monday through Friday. He's gonna start trying to stream during the day, hopefully soon, maybe after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I will do big games at night, and then I'll stream random multiplayer stuff and things throughout the day, and maybe sometimes at night if
so
Baka
we'll definitely he's definitely here every night, Monday through Friday, at what time do you start? 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern. Yep. So check us out, give us a follow here, and thanks for hanging out, everybody. You can follow, if you want to follow us individually, you can follow me on Twitter at Grifslinum. You can follow Chicken
at EliteChicken313.
Nice. And you can follow Baka
at Baka Pickle.
Yeah, so everybody do all that stuff. Don't forget to check us out everywhere. Stop by the website, sign up, and say hey, because it gets lonely when I'm there by myself.
As Nightbot just pleasantly said right there.
Thanks, Night.
Night's got your back.
Anyway, don't forget to come back next week or later tonight or whenever you feel like, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Later.
Outro.
Chris, you're the one who doesn't participate in this.
No. Oh no.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.